Good morning, everyone out there in Facebook world, YouTube world, whatever world you're in. This is really funny and very worrying at the same time, if I'm honest. Very, very worrying. Very, very worrying. So, this morning I woke up and I was replying to some comments and I couldn't reply anymore. So, got a community ban. I don't even know what for. There's no way I broke the community rules in 2 comments. There's no way I broke the community rules. Don't know what's happened. It must be something previously that has come now. But this person here was like,
What I find
why don't you ring the police about Meghan and Harry being harassed, right? Where is it? It's Paula. Honestly, this is fucking crazy. Wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. Where is it? I can't see it anyway. But she said, why don't you just, ring the police if you think it's harassment? And I do think it's harassment. Like, no doubt is it harassment. No doubt is it harassment. Anyway, so, I thought about it, I couldn't reply. Facebook didn't let me reply. So, literally, my only course of action from OCD to correct the problem was to ring the police. So, I rang Northumberland Police. Now, you need to understand something before this, right? Last year, I got so sick of my family's harassment over 17 years of me, like, telling a bullshit story and leaving out all the important details of what they all did wrong and just making me out to be the villain, and I just suddenly woke up one day and decided to be a dickhead to them. No, that wasn't the case. That was not the case. It was because one of them near enough strangled me to death, and then they all made me out to be a liar for it, and then they all think it was because my best friend died in a car crash while I lost my mind, and that used to send me crazy, when it was because one of them nearly strangled me to death, and they all fucking defended him, basically. That's why. That was the problem, right? He still owes me an apology. Anyway, so they had harassed me to the entire of Gateshead in Newcastle for 17 years. They had looked every family member and friend in the eyes and lied to them about what had happened. Oh, James just suddenly woke up one day, fucking was this awful druggie. No, that was never the case. I was nearly strangled to death by my own father for trying to protect my mother. And then, the only person who I could talk to about it, who actually gave a shit, died in a car crash the day before my GCSE exams. And then my mother sent me up north to live with a person who nearly murdered me and made me out to be a liar to the rest of the family for 3 months. And further physical assaults took place. And I went to another family member for help. And they just went, what do you expect me to do about it? And I thought, all right, fair enough, whatever. Maybe there's nothing she can do. And then a few weeks later, my brother went up because he'd spilt some curry and been called a fat cunt. And lo and behold, my mother makes my dad apologise. And I was literally standing there like gobsmacked, like one of you lot can nearly fucking murder me and make me out to be the bad guy. And when I asked for an apology, it was like I was being ridiculous. It was like I was being ridiculous, like expecting an apology for that. But anyway, so that's the story of harassment. So my family have made me out to be the bad guy for 17 years to everyone. He's just a lying, thieving drug addict, blah, blah, blah. No, I lied about stealing from a dad because I wasn't going to ask to borrow money from him because he tried to fucking kill me. I'm not asking to borrow money of someone who lays their hands on me like that. Fuck that, no. Anyway, so my family harassed me for 17 years. And so when I started telling the truth on Facebook about it, and what had been done to me by all of them, and all the awful, evil, horrible things they've done, like, they don't have enough money in the world to pay back what they've done wrong to me. Like, they don't have enough things in the world to pay back what they've done wrong. They could never undo the evil things they've done. It's 17 years of evil, callous behaviour. Like, it's just, they're never gonna, it'll be with them for the rest of their life. So I had to correct it, because it was affecting my life. People would believe in this bullshit because it's my parents and brother and sister. People had no other references. But thankfully, I spent the last 17 years being a damn nice human being to near enough everyone in town. All my colleagues, all my friends. So the truth counteracted their bullshit. It just needed to be told, which I told. Now, eventually one of them got sick of it and rang the police and claimed they felt it was harassment. They had been harassing me for 17 years. I got harassed to the point I literally had to walk away from my parents and family and just start a new life because I was so sick of it. The abuse, the daily harassment of all of them. I was fucking sick of it, just being their punching bag. So they harassed me for 17 years. So when I told everyone that they harassed me for 17 years and had to go through all the details of what was done for therapy, they rang the police and tried to charge me with harassment. Like, you couldn't write it. Honestly, you couldn't fucking write it. I knew it was my sister. It has to be my sister who rang the police because it was always her who would do something wrong, then get me to do it, and make out I did it, and she never did it, and I was a liar when I tried to point out that she did it and tricked me into doing it. That's what always happened. So, she's harassed me for 17 years, and then when the truth has been told about her, she's rang the police, tried to play a victim. Like, she always does. I'm sorry, that's what she always did. So I know it was Sarah, and if it wasn't, the other three are fucking stupid because they had far more to lose than her. Anyway, so this person on Facebook basically said here, somewhere in these comments, that I should ring the police. And so I thought about it, and I was like, do you know what? This boy's mum was harassed to the point where she died in a car crash, and he has been harassed his entire life. You know, like Piers Morgan was charged in court for hacking his phone, or Piers Morgan was part of it with the Daily Mail. Like, there has been multiple journalists and news corporations successfully prosecuted for harassing this man, and yet Talk TV and GB News continue to harass him every day. Every day. If I did this, it's considered harassment. Literally, the police turned up at my door and said, "Oh, well, your family's rang and it's classed as harassment." And I was like, "No, it's not." And they're like, "Well, yes, it is." Well, no, it's not. If that was classed as harassment, then what GB News and Talk TV are doing is harassment. So, anyway, I ring the police and tell them I want to report the crime of harassment against Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. You know, as you do. Fucking why not? Making the world a better place is what I do. So this is part of it, unfortunately. And their response was that I needed to speak to GB News and Talk TV about it. You know, put in a complaint. And I'm scratching my head. I'm thinking, hang on. I'm reporting a crime to the police. Isn't it your job to enforce the law when crimes are committed? Like, this isn't a complaint. I'm literally reporting a crime. And then this lady hung up on me. I didn't understand why they're not helping or why I had to make a complaint. And so she hung up on me. Like, I wasn't being rude. I wasn't being abusive. I wasn't swearing. She hung up on me, which is negligence. Like, she should be sacked. She literally should be fucking sacked, okay? So, the next part, I ring back. Obviously, I ring back. And I tell the lad the same thing. And he has the same plans as his previous agent. You know, you've already been told, blah, 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 blah. You need to speak to the company. And I says to him, look, can you explain it to me? Because I don't understand. I'm reporting a crime I have witnessed as a member of the public to the police, and you're asking me to speak to the person who committed the crime about it. I'll say that again. In case you didn't catch this, they said I need to speak to GB News and Talk TV about it. Now, I'm ringing them, telling them that GB News and Talk TV are committing a crime, the crime of harassment. I honestly feel like that girl who defended Britney Spears, you know, in tears. Leave her alone! Leave her alone! Honestly, you'll find it on YouTube. It's hilarious when everyone was harassing Britney. But, like, Harry and Meghan had to leave the country because of this shit. And people were taught that they betrayed their family. Did you ever consider that their family betrayed them? Because my family made out I betrayed them, but it was my family that betrayed me all along. That's why I fucking walked away, okay? Like, my mother abandoned the only person who had her back her entire life for the man who had never had her back, realistically. The man who nearly murdered her own child, who, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, because, like, I could have had my dad in jail for attempted murder, realistically. He owes me a thank you. He should be thanking me, but he's ungrateful. It's ironic. My family all think I'm ungrateful, but they only have the life they have from my silence. It is my choices that have allowed them the life they currently have. My brother and sister would have never seen their dad again, most likely, but I wasn't going to make that choice. Like, I thought my dad would be the better man and apologise. But you know what it is? That was 2006. here we are in 2025, 19 years later, he still hasn't apologised. Still hasn't apologised. And if I went to try and get an apology, I'd be made out to be a troublemaker. I'm always the bad guy in my family, so I know what harassment's like. I've been harassed my entire life. And I've witnessed Harry and Meghan be harassed by Talk TV and GB News every day for years now. Like, years. They harass them every day. Every day they harass these poor, innocent... Well, they're not poor, they're very rich. But these people, right? And Harry's mother literally died because of the harassment of journalists and media. They've had to move country because the harassment was that bad. They've had successful convictions of harassment and hacking from journalists who are harassing them, and it continues to happen on a daily basis. And so I ring the police about it, be like, okay, I've witnessed this harassment. I don't know them. I've never met Harry and Meghan. I might have crossed paths with Harry when he was younger at a cadet's lesson, but I never spoke to him. We don't know each other. I don't know William. I don't know these guys, okay? I just don't like innocent people being attacked, because I know what it's like. I don't like people who have done nothing wrong being made out to be the bad guys constantly. I can't stand it. Right? I can't stand it. My family did it to me, and I have a strong suspicion Harry's family did it to him to cover up for Andrew's shit, right? So, Talk TV and GB News are committing a crime. I ring the police about the crime, and the police tell me that I need to speak to the person who's committed the crime about it. Not them. Not the people paid to enforce the law. Oh no. I need to speak to the criminal who's committed the crime about the crime they've committed, because the police won't do anything. Am I the only one in this country who thinks that the police are fucking done? They need fucking done. They're done. Like, what is this? How can I report a crime to the police, right? And they tell me to speak to the criminal about it. But when my family commit crimes against me, and I tell people about it on Facebook, and they ring the police saying they felt harassed, the police come tell me it's harassment. Like, what? What? What planet are you lot on? What? Like, what happens if, like, Harry and Meghan end up topping themselves because there's harassment? The police would still not do anything. They'd be just like, oh, it's a sad, tragic thing, you know. Nothing more could be done. You just could have done your fucking job. You just could literally enforce the law, you know, the thing you're paid to do. Like, you could try doing that. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, call me crazy. I just do not understand. I do not understand how they can commit harassment every day, and then, if it's considered harassment, I have to speak to the person who's committed the crime about it, not the police. The people who are paid to enforce the law and stop crimes from being broken have told me to speak to the person who's committed the crime to get them to stop it, rather than them who are paid to stop them committing crimes. This is why I lose my mind. This is why I go crazy. I go mental. Because you've got idiots all around me. Everyone are idiots. Idiots who can't do their jobs. In phone shops, in police stations, on police phone lines, politicians, psychologists who do 2 mental health assessments at the same time under the Mental Health Act, when it's supposed to be 2 legal, separate assessments, so you get a confirmed result. Not 2 assessments at the same time. That's not 2 separate assessments, which happened twice to me, by the way, and was basically meant I was illegally held under the Mental Health Act twice. I'm not going to get into it now, but like, you would think when you report a crime to the police, they wouldn't tell you to speak to the criminal about it. You know, oh, this guy stabbed you. Oh, did you try asking him to stop? This man's just ran off with my purse. Did you try calling him and asking for it back? What are you doing, police? Sort your shit out. Fuck me. I'm off. Fuck. I've never been so baffled in 2025 as I am right now.